Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. Last week I reviewed the Chi Spin and Curl, which I didn't have too much success with. So this week I'm reviewing the Bedhead Wave Artist Deep Waver. This is one of the most popular hair tools right now. So I thought I'd check it out in case your clients at home are asking if this thing works. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a tutorial how to use it, show you the main facts about the product, and then also weigh in and let you know my personal opinion on whether it's worth the investment or not. And if you enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so I can make more videos for you. And very first thing, it's so important to always read the instructions. I can't stress that enough. And that's good. So first thing I'm going to do is section off my hair and do a little test strand on the low heat. It has heat settings ranging from low to high. So I'm gonna just do a little test strand on the low heat and then work my way up to the higher setting as I get used to it. Here it goes. And right off the bat, I notice it works pretty well, and I'm just using the low setting, so putting it on the higher setting is gonna make it work even faster. I was holding the strands for about 5 to 10 seconds. I'll say too that the tool itself is kind of bulky, but it's actually really lightweight, so after a few tries, it's gonna be a lot easier to use. My first impression is that it creates a really nice soft wave. It kind of looks like if you were to braid your hair and sleep overnight, but a little bit bigger of a pattern, which I think is really cool. So I like to do kind of more vertical sections rather than horizontal. But I will switch it off throughout the tutorial so you can kind of see the difference between horizontal and vertical placement. But the vertical just seems to fall really nicely on top of each other and look a little bit more organic and natural, whereas if you do all horizontal sections, it looks like it all falls right perfectly in line with each other, making it look a little bit less natural. So definitely, I would say go with more of vertical sections with this tool. So right here, I'm going to show you what it looks like when I do a more horizontal section. And I also want to point out too that whether you use the corrugated side on top or the smooth side on top, it doesn't really have an effect on the pattern. So either way, whatever's comfortable for you to hold it is going to work pretty much exactly the same, but it does matter whether it's vertical or horizontal. So as you can see with that horizontal placement, it looks a little bit more bumpier and just a little bit more uniform. So then I switched it back to vertical and you can see the difference. What I like about this too is as you're moving the iron down after holding it for a few seconds on each section, you don't really have to line it up perfectly with the last indent or the last imprint. Like for example, when you're crimping hair, I feel like if you leave too much of a gap, then it looks really uneven and the pattern is all messed up. Whereas with this tool, you can kind of leave a gap, you can go over the same thing, and it all looks pretty even and uniform. I also wanted to point out how much volume it gives you too. Those waves kind of lay on top of each other perfectly, giving you about 3 times the volume. I want to note too that I'm not using any hairspray or any other type of product for hold because I wanted to get an idea of how much heat this tool can put out and if it can actually give me a hold that's going to last all day. And I actually ended up wearing it all day and it did not fall out. It holds really well. It doesn't show you, this is one downside, it doesn't show you what the actual heat is that you're using, like the actual temperature, but it has settings from low to high. So I would always just start on the low and raise the heat higher as needed. So right here, I'm going to show you what the pattern looks like when you do the smooth surface on the top and the corrugated side on bottom. And as you can see, it does not really affect the pattern at all. So my advice would be to use it in a way that is just most comfortable for you and make sure your wrist is not in an awkward position. Now you might be thinking, I can just tell my clients at home how to do this with a flat iron. I could get the same exact look with flat iron. I could get the same exact look with braids. I could even do it with a curling iron if I do certain tips and tricks to get this style. However, I really believe that for clients at home, you want to make it as simple as possible for them. And this is a really easy way to kind of take out the difficulty of that learning curve of trying to do it with a flat iron or braids. It's just a lot simpler. If you're like me and you struggle with getting volume near the roots, just go ahead and hold the section straight up and use the iron just like you would with a curling iron, and that's going to lift your roots away from your head, and it'll stay like that the entire day. So when I was first looking into this tool, I kind of figured that at the top section I would probably have some trouble getting it to look natural just because it gives such a distinct pattern, so I felt like it would be kind of difficult to make it blend and look natural. So I will show you a little bit later in the video how I tried to overcome that, and it's not a perfect fix, but it did help a little bit. But next week I'm going to share a video of how I incorporate regular curls with these waves to give a really natural look that doesn't give me any weird lines and patterns. Definitely tell me what your thoughts are on this tool in the comments below. I would love to hear them, and then also tag me on Instagram if you have tried this. I'd love to see how it worked for you. I'm at Lauren Francis Hair. So to kind of address those bumps, I just took the flat iron and kind of tamed the top a little bit just to smooth the transition from my natural hair to the waves, so it's just not so rigid. And this helps. It's not a perfect fix, but also as time goes by, it will settle a little bit too. Overall, I'd say I'd recommend this tool to clients just because it's really handy and it makes things a little bit easier, and you can't beat the price. Thank you so much for your support, you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, the link for this is in the description below. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next video.